Seahawks fans, we are closing in on 45.5 thousand subscribers here on Seahawks Today. We had a heck of a time on our watch party yesterday, and we continued to grow. We're less than 150 away from that next milestone. Can you help us out? You want to join the family and reach our next goal? Come on in. Be glad. Be a part of it. We'll be glad to have you here on Seahawks Today. Subscribe now. We'll get started with today's show. Tyler Jones here. Thanks for joining us here on the program. A lot to get to on the injury front for your Seattle Seahawks after yesterday's performance against the San Francisco 49ers with Devon Witherspoon and Artie Burns going down. Also, Geno Smith not playing in yesterday's game. Got some more context on what exactly is going on with Geno from Pete Carroll. We'll get to all of that coming up in a matter of moments. Let's start with Devon Witherspoon in the update. If you recall, when we left you yesterday on the TV broadcast and what we had heard in regards to the injury with Devon Witherspoon initially was a lower back injury. We have found out that is not actually the case with Devon Witherspoon, that rather it is a bruised ribs injury with Devon Witherspoon. And Pete Carroll, providing context to the situation, had the following to say. Spoon got bruised ribs. We don't know how extensive that is. If he could have gone back in, he would have. Spoon would have made some tackles that we missed today. He's a ball player, and he gets guys on the ground. He's in the nickel spot. He'd be inside, and he'd have made some plays. He's just really good at it, so we really did miss him without question. And, look, he's absolutely right about that. We saw yesterday when Devon Witherspoon went down that first quarter how different the Seahawks defense was without Devon Witherspoon. It's just the impact that he brings to the table on every given play. And the main thing, as Pete brings up, all those missed tackles and giving up those extra yardage. For a guy at Devon Witherspoon's position to have the emphasis as far as his ability to finish plays and to contain things says a lot for a corner here. And that's exactly what Devon Witherspoon brings to the table. Now, here's what's very unfortunate about this situation with Devon Witherspoon. Pete Carroll said that his status for next week right now is unknown, that this is a day-to-day injury at this point. So maybe we do see him back. Maybe he's out for a bit. We don't know yet. We're still waiting to see further evaluation on Devon Witherspoon. And it was glaringly obvious this team is going to need Devon Witherspoon back, that defense took a huge step backwards. You've already lost 4 in a row. Now you take on the Philadelphia Eagles next week, and the question becomes, can this Seahawks team win without Devon Witherspoon? They weren't winning with Devon Witherspoon the last few weeks, but can you win without him now? Ugh, I don't feel great. It's our pinned comment today. Weigh in, tell me what you think. Can the Seahawks win with or without Devon Witherspoon? Y for yes, in for no. Let us know what you think. Today's show is sponsored by our newest partner here at Chat Sports, Factor. This busting holiday season, you might be looking for nutritious, flavored meals to fuel you on jam-packed days. Factor, America's #1 ready-to-eat meal delivery service, can help you eat well for breakfast, lunch, and dinner with chef-prepared, dietitian-approved, ready-to-eat meals delivered straight to your door. You'll save time and stay on track with your healthy lifestyle while tackling all your holiday to-dos. Cross meal prepping off of your list this holiday season with Factor. Skip the meal planning, grocery shopping, preparation, and cleaning up, and get Factor's fresh, never-frozen meals delivered to your door. They're ready in just 2 minutes, so all you have to do is heat and enjoy. Treat yourself to high-quality, delicious meals over the holidays. Factor isn't just for dinner. Count on extra convenience any time of day with an assortment of 55-plus add-ons to suit various preferences and tastes. Choose from quick breakfast items, lunch to go, grab-and-go snacks, and ready-to-drink cold-pressed juices, shakes, and smoothies. Head to factormeals.com/SeahawksChat50 and use code SeahawksChat50 to get 50% off. That's SeahawksChat50 at factormeals.com/SeahawksChat50 to get 50% off. The link is in the comments and description of today's video. Factor Meals. I love Factor Meals. You'll love Factor Meals, too. Give them a shot today. Tell them that Tyler Jones at Chat Sports Center. Now, the latest on Geno Smith, the Seahawks starting quarterback who did not play in yesterday's game against the San Francisco 49ers. It was the first start that Geno Smith has missed since becoming the full-time starting quarterback for Seattle. It was a groin injury that ultimately kept Geno Smith out. And from what we heard from Pete Carroll was that Geno, despite the groin injury, wanted to play, made the effort to be out there and at least give it a go in warm-ups and all that, but ultimately was not cleared by the Seahawks medical staff to give it a go. More from Carroll. Smith couldn't play today. He wanted to go out there and slug it out, but it was right to not play him. We'll just have to go day to day and see how he goes and see how much he comes back. It'll be like Spoon's injury, those ribs. You got to go day to day and see how he can respond to it. We won't know until all the way until the game time, I'm sure, and same thing with Geno. Now, the performance that we saw from Drew Lock yesterday, I think was a similar result to what you would have seen had Geno Smith played in that game yesterday. So it's not the end of the world that we didn't see Geno, because Drew Lock, quite frankly, played very well for about 3 quarters in this game, completing 71% of his passes, 2 touchdowns. The offense was really cooking, but you had those 2 turnovers late. But what the statistics don't tell you about those turnovers from Drew Lock was that he was put in a position where the offense had their backs against the wall, where Drew Lock was trying to make plays that weren't there because they were playing from behind and all that. So, I mean, I give him credit for at least being aggressive here. You look at Geno's statistics so far this year, 15 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. They've really lacked that consistency with Geno. I think that both quarterbacks are probably going to get similar results like you saw yesterday to what Geno's done this season. Geno's still your guy. I think that Drew didn't do anything to take the job away from Geno Smith, but it'll certainly have some people talking. Who should start when Geno's healthy? Should it still be Geno's job, or do you want to see more Drew Lock after what we saw yesterday? Chime in that comment section. Tell me what you think. G for Geno Smith, D for Drew Lock. Weigh in that comment section. Give me your opinion. Who should be that starting quarterback for the Seahawks? G for Geno, D for Drew Lock. Let us know. Chime in that comment section what you think that guy should be. One more injury note before we wrap up today's show. Artie Burns left yesterday's game with a knee injury, and he was the second corner to go down, along with Devon Witherspoon. And he was in a role where he was stepping in for Devon Witherspoon. Pete Carroll had this to say as far as Artie Burns goes. Artie Burns got a little banged up a bit, but he should be okay. We came to that all right. So that's good that he should be okay. But at least for now anyway, this Seahawks team, it's not just Devon Witherspoon. It's not just Artie Burns. You're down 3 corners right now at this position. I mean, times are tough right now. You don't have a ton of options as you go down the stretch and are still trying to make the playoffs and all that. I know Artie Burns wasn't a huge impact player, but everybody counts at this juncture. You look at where the Seahawks depth chart is at the moment. You can see Tre Brown a little banged up, Artie Burns banged up, Devon Witherspoon banged up. It is all hands on deck at this point just to get through these last couple weeks and give this team a chance. The other injuries, besides just that to the secondary with Devon Witherspoon, Tre Brown, and Artie Burns, at the moment, we mentioned Geno Smith. You got Frank Clark, who missed yesterday's game for personal reasons. And then Dee Eskridge dealing with a rib injury as well. So as the Seahawks face one of their toughest tests of the season next week on Monday night against Philadelphia, it'll be interesting to follow who exactly is going to be available and who's not. And this is before you practice and all that, and could have some more injuries pop up there. So to say that I am concerned heading into next week would be a bit of an understatement right now. The understatement of the century. I'm very concerned. I'm putting this about an 8 or 9 right now where my concern level is. What's your concern level with the Seahawks injuries? Weigh in. Tell us what you think. Thanks for joining us here on Seahawks Today as we continue to talk about your team each and every day with the latest happenings across the National Football League right here with your Seattle Seahawks. Stay tuned to the channel. We got you covered all week long. We'll see you next time.